And sort of just shake out what is not you, and then come to a comfortable stance, the way that you would stand if you weren't paying attention. Therein, of course, lies the caveat that we are paying attention. So we're going to be standing probably very, very upright. So we talk about the red light reflex, the one that pulls us forward when we have a lot of restriction. We talk about the green light reflex that pulls us into the back, where the hips are riding in front of the ankle. And then we have what is sometimes called the trauma reflex, when there is an imbalance from one side to the other. So it can be due to trauma. It can be due to scoliosis. It can also be due to what I did, which was just habit. Riding on my back, my dog, a young lab, needs a lot of exercise. So when you hold a dog, you're contracting all the muscle on one side. So these muscles just say, well, okay, we'll just stay tighter. So that created scoliosis. So now I have an imbalance from one side to the other. So when you stand, notice if you have more weight on one foot than the other. That's a clue to an imbalance, a lateral imbalance. When we rock back and forth, we are assessing the green and red light reflex, but now we are working side to side. Notice here also if one hip sits higher than the other. And this is really good to do in front of a mirror. You can take your hands to your front hip points. And in a mirror, you'll notice, well, wow, that one sits a little higher. You may have some knee thingies on one side. That's a signal from, this hip works harder. Now, another way to test this as you stand, keeping the knees straight, and then lift the right heel up. Now we are using both the obliques and we are using abdominis transversus. We'll do the other side. So doing this sort of, in Danish is called goose walk. I have no idea what it's called in English. So keeping the knees straight, is it easier to go up to one side than the other? If there is scoliosis, if there is a curvature of the spine, the side that is concave might be a little bit easier to lift, but you may feel exactly the same on each side. This is a good one to assess, again, like I said, in a mirror. In your birthday suit, has the belly button drifted off to one side? Does your nose sit centered over your body? So with those ponderings, let's come on to our mat. I've covered the whole mat with a blanket. Welcome, Roberta. And as you come onto your back, start with your legs straight in a completely relaxed event. And notice here, if you are laying more on one side, is one of your butt cheeks laying a little flatter? What about the shoulder blades? Are they imprinting evenly on your mat? So that gives us an idea of difference from one side to the other. And now we'll bend up the knees and begin to sort out what's going on with the breath today. So the diaphragmatic breathing, which we are going to be moving there, but before we do anything, just notice your breath. If you divide your torso into 4 quadrants, 2 upper and 2 lower, 2 on the right, 2 on the left, As you breathe in and out with your non-monitored breath, and again, same thing as with the posture, the moment we begin to pay attention to it, it is slightly going to change. But we'll spend some time pondering these quadrants in our breath tonight as we work the muscles surrounding the trunk. It's the inner and outer obliques. It's the abdominis transversus, that big band that wraps around the abdomen. It is the abdominis rectus, a glorified six-pack. And then we're going to work with the six-pack on the back, erector spinae. So the muscles that maintain trunk stability the whole way around. So next week, when we get to the shoulders, we've sorted out all that lies below. So now let's take the hands to the lower abdomen and then begin to add somatic movement to the diaphragm. As you inhale, it contracts, flattens, and slowly exhale, letting it release. Let it be easy. Not forcing the breath, not pushing into the abdomen. And sensing it all the way around your trunk. And then we'll play a little bit with a paused breath. So you'll take a full breath in, but exhale a third. Pause just for one count. And then exhale another third. Pause again. Then exhale the remainder. So we are holding tension on the diaphragm, so we are strengthening it as we do in the somatic practice by controlled release, not dropping the movement. Take a normal breath in and out. And we'll repeat. Inhaling, full diaphragmatic breath, and exhaling about a third. Pausing, another third. Pausing, and the last third. Full breath in and out. And remember, if anything that we do is producing discomfort, pain, or otherwise, allow yourself to back off so that you are moving at a range that is right for you. This is called the loma breathing, literally interrupted breath in yoga, and it is a breath practice used to strengthen the diaphragm. You can do it on both the in and the out breath. We're doing it on the out breath because we want to stay in the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest, and not activate the sympathetic nervous system, which is the in breath. Let's do it one more time. Exhaling about a third. Another third. And the remainder. Returning to an uninterrupted diaphragmatic breathing. And then we will continue now with the arch and flatten. So you are all seasoned practitioners, so we will go right into the whole bit. As you inhale, begin to arch, contract the low back, and let it float upward. As you exhale, we begin to float back to neutral. And that can take more than your out breath, that's okay. You will pause, you will buffer here, wait for the out breath, so a normal in breath, and then exhale, flattening, draw the belly down towards the floor, and then scooping it upward under the ribs. And then slowly releasing that on the in breath, we are back at neutral. Let's take a breath in and out. And when you're ready, on an in breath, we go again. Inhaling, arch. Back body contracts. Chin will travel down as the tailbone travels down. And as you exhale, you're slowly releasing the contraction. Maybe an in breath for nothing. Wait for the out breath, and then draw the abdomen down, scooping it up. And from last week, we also invited in the pelvic floor. So if that is available, I invite you to engage Mula Bandha and release both as you inhale. Full breath in and out. And let's do that one more time. Inhaling, arch. Relaxing back to neutral. Make it easy. There's an in-breath for nothing. And exhale. Draw the pelvic floor up, abdomen in and up. And letting go. Returning to your normal breath. Easy peasy. Let's stretch the legs out and just check in. Breathing in and out. Notice the quadrants, upper and lower. Did anything change? We'll bend the knees up again. And then we'll do the arch and curl. So interlacing the fingers, place them behind the head. And we'll do a normal one first. So we'll inhale and arch again. Exhale, moving right into the flattening. Draw the elbows up, the magnets engaged, and then curling the head and just the top of the shoulders up so the front seam engaged. And then slowly keep the low back down with lengthening the front out so the head comes down, elbows still up. Now relift the elbows so you feel the shoulder blades spreading. And then slowly, let's count them down from 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are down. Everything relaxes. Breathing in and out. So we were going to repeat this one, but now we're going to do the pause in the curl, just like we did in the Loma breathing. So here again, we'll inhale, we'll begin with the arch. Back contracts, exhale, draw the abdomen in and up, elbows up and curling up. Feel the front seam contracting. Now slowly release down about a third of the way. And we're going to lift up about an inch. I'm going to inhale here. I'm not going to over control the breath. So don't hold your breath at any one time here. Lower about 2/3 of the way. Recontract up again about an inch. And then I'm going to come almost all the way down, almost all the way down. Low back is flat. And I'm going to curl up just a wee bit. And now I'm going to land my head super soft. And then let's lift the elbows again, spreading the shoulder blades. And then slowly, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and let everything go. So according to Sarah, my teacher who taught me this discipline, somatics, from Thomas Hammes, he says the two most common mistakes we make for the optimal release is we release too quickly, and we forget to take that pause breath in between. That helps our motor cortex reset. Let's do it one more time. On your next in-breath, arching again. Exhale, flattening. Belly in and up, elbows draws up, and head moves up. One fluid movement. And then slowly lengthening the front seam by lowering the head about 1/3. Lift up a little bit, keep the low back pressing down, lowering another 1/3, holding the tension on the front, lifting again, and coming down almost all the way, but not quite. Lifting a wee bit. And now I release all the way down. Of course, move in a way that suits your body. I'm going to relift the elbows, and last one, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and elbows relax all the way down. Let's take the arms out, straightening the legs out, and check again with the quadrants. What are you noticing? Upper and lower. Notice the breath in your back body, not just the front. And we'll bend the knees up again. The diagonal arch and curl. I'll catch my left knee with my left hand. Take my right hand behind the head. So here we are mainly going to access the obliques, a little bit of help from your inner corset. So what's really cool about the obliques, the external obliques, hence the name outside, it's a bigger one. And that's the one that will push us into a twist. The internal oblique, about half the size that's lower down in your waist, will pull us into the twist. So I'm going to invite you to actually sense this. So we'll start with an arch again. And then as you exhale, flattening. And then contract the front just enough to lift the head and the shoulders. And then twist to the left side. So right elbow moves towards the midline, towards the left side. And I'm going to slowly inhale and release back down. I'm not going to count this one. I want you just to take the time that feels right for you. Once everything is down, taking a buffer breath in and out. And then we'll take a breath in for nothing. And exhale, flattening and lifting. So your right shoulder will begin to travel faster. Are you using the obliques? Remember, right side is pushing you in, left is pulling you in. And slowly, 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 lower down. Everything relaxes. Breath in for, no, sorry, we're going to inhale and arch. And we'll do our last one. Exhale, flatten, curling to the left. No tension in the neck. It's just resting into the palm of the hand. The obliques and the abdominis rectus, the six pack, is doing the work for us. Slowly release all the way down. Once you have come down, relax your left leg down and stretch out and just assess your quadrants again. As you breathe in and out, are you noticing that the right side is different from the left or vice versa? And if so, in what way? What is the sensory information gained here? What about the lower quadrants? Do they feel the same or different? We are going ahead with the other side now. Let's take the right knee in and left hand behind the head. Because I thought it's worth repeating on this side. Inhale, let's arch. And exhale, flattening, and I begin to contract the left side, pushing me into the twist. And the right is going to help out, and then I'm slowly unwinding, letting the left shoulder come down, head is down, elbow is down. I take a buffer breath in and out. And then we repeat. Let's arch. It just gets our pecs a little bit prepared for next week when we're going to be working more with the shoulders and the neck. And as you press down, coming up, we can't sort out neck and shoulders if we don't sort out everything below. And slowly, slowly release. Shoulders down, head down, elbows down. Easy breath in between. When you're ready, on an in-breath, let's arch again. Let's flatten and curling up diagonally. Slowly traveling back to center. Let's release. Release arms, Release the legs. Pause and feel. So everything about somatics I find is opposite of how we think of exercise. We focus on the release, not the engagement. We pause to check in, allowing our sensory nervous system to have a look-see around and have time to gather information so that our brain can get a little bit more clear on what is actually going on. Sweep the arms up a little higher, elbows are bent, like goalpost arms. We'll begin by pressing out through the right heel. I'm starting slow and then I'm letting it go. And let's repeat that. Inhale, pressing out through the right heel. And let that go. I'm beginning to invite my right hip to travel down with the heel. Letting it go. Sliding the right leg down as I inhale. Slinking it back. Notice as the right hip draws down, the left slides up. Let's do one more. And then we're going to let it go. And instead slide the right arm back, sliding it back. And back down. Slide the right arm back, stretch the fingers, and let that go. Begin to invite the right rib cage with you. So the arm slides back, the rib cage slides up. Do it one more time. The head just rolls about as it wants to. And then let's take the arm back and the heel away. And let it go. Pressing out through the heel and the hand. And letting it go. And now, as you reach out through hands and heel, draw your left hip and left ribs together. So side bending at the waist. Does that facilitate the movement on your right? So slide the arm out, away from the heel, and then letting it go. So I'm just addressing the right side right arm, inviting a little bit more length. And as I contract the left hip towards ribs, does that facilitate sliding back of the arm? So my right arm is straight, my left arm is just resting. The whole left side is arm and leg is not doing anything, just chilling. Let's do it one more time. And as you come back to center, slide the arms down and rest in a comfortable position. And breathing in and out. In to your trunk. And sensing again the quadrants. Toggling your awareness from right to left, left to right, but also upper and lower. What lays flatter? And we'll slide the left arm up, the right, wherever it is comfortable. As we have the left heel, just pressing it out. and letting go. Pressing it out and letting it go. And we begin to explore taking the hip down with the heel. You're walking. No pain, no strain. Easy peasy. And then, let's just start a little bit on the upper. Slide the left arm out. Stretch the fingers and let it slink back. Remember the fascia surrounding arms and hands also surrounds heart and lungs. And then begin to invite the rib cage to reach back with the hand. And we add the heel and the hips back in again. Lengthening the left side and returning. Left side and returning. And then the last little bit that we added, contract now the right waist. Pull the hip towards the ribs, ribs towards the hip. So your left side lengthen and you're consciously shortening the right. So we are creating an antagonist, facilitating the movement on the left. Make it easy. And let's do it one more time. And relax back to neutral. Breathing in and out. And then bend up the knees. We're going to slide the right arm up and roll over onto the right side. So remember here for the side curl, if it's uncomfortable to have your arm overhead, you can bend the elbow. You can use a blanket under the head and have your arm out in front. It is whatever it is comfortable for your body. Ideally, the back of your head and your sacrum is on the same plane. So you can look down your mat and see that you have the same distance from your arm all the way down the trunk. And then your legs are bent at a 90 degree today. So knees are pulled up, so 90 degrees at the hip and 90 degrees at the knees. Now take your left hand to your waist. We're going to talk to the obliques again because they have two jobs. They rotate, but they also work the side. So as you inhale for nothing, you're going to exhale, lift your left lower leg or the obliques, hugging, holding, pulling you up, and then exhale slowly, releasing down. Hips have returned to where we started. Take a breath in for nothing. And exhale. Feel the contraction. Pulling the foot up. It's like a great pulley lever system. If you're not contracting in the waist, how are you lifting the leg? What other muscles have stepped in? So the compensatory movement patterns. And we'll do it one more time. Breath in for nothing. And exhale, lift. Keep the foot completely passive. The only one here is the oblique, inner oblique. We're going to slowly lower all the way down. All right, external obliques. We'll put the headband on. Yeah, take a breath in for nothing. And as you exhale, contracting right around the side ribs, your gills, to allow the head to lift up. It doesn't have to be a big movement. And slowly lower down. So again, the head is merely resting into the hand. We're not pulling with the arm. Breath in and out. And a breath in for nothing. And on the out breath, close the gills to create a head lift. And then super slow, let your gills open back out again. Let's do that one more time. Breath in for nothing. And exhale, contract as I close the gills. The ribs pulling together and lowering down. Now slide the hand behind the head. And then slowly, you're going to roll your left shoulder to the floor and take your right arm out in front. So I'm starting in a twist. And I'm going to invite my obliques to do the work for me, both side bending and also derotating. So we'll take a breath in for nothing. And as you exhale, derotate back to center. Once at center, now lift heel and head. Knee stays together. And then inhale, slowly traveling all the way back out. Back home where we started. Let's take a full breath in and out. And again, let's take a breath in for nothing. And exhale, derotate. Once I've derotated, nose and belly button same direction. Now, heel and head, whole side seam squeezing together. And then I'm going to release that all the way up without straining my neck. Once out, pause. Let's do that one more time. Breath in for nothing. And exhale. Derotate. Back at center. And asking them to do double duty. And slowly lower down. So we can break this one up. We don't have to do all three at one time. We can do just the legs. We can do the side curl, or as we did here, all together. Now slowly roll onto your back and pause. Breathing in and out. You have 4 quarters on the front, you got 4 quarters on the back. What changed? And then from here, bending up the knees, and now rolling over onto your left side. Bending the knees up at the 90-90. I'm checking that best as I can tell, the back of my head and sacrum on the same plane. So my gaze is straight forward, not rounding. If I'm looking down at my thighs, I know I may have a little too much red light reflex going on. So can I scooch and sitting in this very straight back chair? Let's bring the hand to the right waist. This is really nice with that feedback that we're actually doing what we are thinking we're doing. So breath in for nothing. And as you exhale, contract the waist and let the lower leg lift up. Keep the knees together and then slowly releasing down. And the waist lengthens back out. Breath in and out for nothing. And again, breath in for nothing. And exhale, contract. Contract the waist. Feel it get. Begin to pull the lever. Let the foot come up and slowly release the contraction. You can feel that too. So not dumping the movement. Lengthening out with control. Buffer breath. Breath in for nothing. And one more time. Muscles check. And slowly, 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 slowly. Down we go. Let's take our arm overhead for the headband. Now, if this bothers your shoulder, remember, you might hold a hand underneath. You can do it in your mind. So always refrain from pain. Refrain from pain. The muscle we want to talk to are here at your gills, right below the armpit. So as you inhale, fill the lungs and exhale, gills close. Head is pulled up because we are side bending. So whether or not you have the headband on or you are adjusting for shoulders, ensure that the muscles you are indeed using are the side chest. Breathing in and out. So we have a pair of helpers here too. Let's take a breath in for nothing. And as you exhale, contracting, draw the ribs together. So the external oblique, but there's also the intercostals. Muscles between the rib cage. Slowly release back out, lengthening out. And these can get really clamped down, which basically puts our lungs and heart in a, well, lockdown event where there is no expansion on the in-breath. It's a really nifty system, at least as long as it works. Let's take a breath in and out. One more time, breath in for nothing. And exhale, side bending up. It's contracted. Can you feel it? Pulling you up, rib on rib on rib. And then slowly lengthening back out. And sliding now the hand behind the head. And begin to release the right shoulder towards the floor. And take your left arm out in front. So your right shoulder is probably not on the floor, but it is moving in that direction. Hips are where we left them. And then let's work the diagonal. Inhale for nothing. Exhale. De-rotate, so I'm lifting just enough where I have freedom of movement, and then side bending. I'm adding my leg back in. And slowly, slowly, slowly release. So make sure you're maintaining that 90-degree angle behind the knees and at the hips. So we come all the way up, all the way up. Buffer breath. Breath in for nothing. And exhale, de-rotate. Side bending. Head and heel. And slowly, slowly, slowly. We release. Back out. Back where we started. Buffer breath. Breath in for nothing. Last one. Exhaling. Contract. De-rotate. Side bend. Head and heel, or whatever feels right for your body tonight. And slowly, slowly release. All the way back onto our back body. Breathing in and out. And what I meant to say, we're going to come onto our belly now, because I did talk about erector spinae when we started. So this muscle all the way up the back, in addition to, of course, our little rotator. So let's take the left arm down alongside the body. You can't see mine, but it is just down. And then I have my right arm up, and I'm resting my left temple on the back of my right hand. If this is uncomfortable for your neck, you can turn your head any way you like. You can also move your arm further down. It is whatever is comfortable for your body. On the in-breath, we're going to lift the head and the right arm, lifting up. So that helps us talk to our erector spinae, the muscle that runs from skull to sacrum. Let's take a buffer breath. And on the next inhalation, again, press the hips down, lift the head, lift the arm. Now lift your left leg, lift the left leg. And slowly, slowly, slowly lowering down. Buffer breath. And one more time. Inhaling, press the hips down, lifting head and arm and leg. And now can you lift your right elbow up and sort of peek underneath it? Peek out underneath it. And slowly lower down. Buffer breath. I know what you're thinking. That was amazing. We ought to do it one more time. On the thoracic vertebrae, is what I'm trying to say. We have rotators. We can twist the thoracic spine with these little rubber bands. It's really cool. So let's take them for another little ride. Press the hips down. Inhaling, lifting, arm lifting, head, maybe the leg. And now twist the thoracic spine. Low back is staying exactly where we left it. And slowly releasing back to neutral. Breathing in and out. Now press your right arm down into the floor, just enough where you can lift the head and turn, bring your left arm up. And we're gonna slide the right arm down. And then we'll begin, as we did before, just with the upper body. So take a breath in. Let me get the breathing right here. I was turning around, multitasking. A buffer breath. And on your next in-breath, let's press the hips down, lift the arm and head, just the arm and head. And then slowly lower down, feeling that whole back seam, supporting this lift. And then we added the opposite leg. So as you inhale, lifting arm, head, and leg. Press the hips down, press the hips down. And lower all the way down. Buffer breath. And one more time. Now we begin to peek. Inhaling, press the hips down, lifting arm, head, right leg. Keep the right leg as straight as you can as you peek under the left arm, peeking under the left arm. And we'll lower down. In and out. Buffer breath. I think we're ready for our last one. On an in-breath, press the hips down. Arm, head, leg, and diagonal. And slowly lower down. Breathing in and out. And then as easy, as little effort as possible, let's find our way onto our back again. Straightening the legs out. Pause. Checking in with the quadrants. And then we'll bend up the knees. We'll do a little preview for next week. So not quite the washcloth, but we will do the lower half with the arms resting out to the sides. And as you inhale, letting your knees go to the right and nose to the left. This is a little arch. And exhale, drawing back up. Everything is back at center. And inhale, we'll go to the other side. As you move slowly and deliberately, so feet are on the mat, not as wide as the mat. I find that to be the most comfortable. And with the eyes closed, can you feel what muscles are engaging, drawing you up? And how are you moving down? What is happening on the inside? Is it smooth? Is it easy? Is one side a little bit more fluid than the other? And we'll finish to the left side. And as you come up, sliding the legs long, take the arms up. Interlace the fingers, consolidate the legs. As you inhale, let's draw the arms overhead, pressing out through the heels. Full body stretch. Consolidate into the midline. And we'll take the arms back up to the sky. Switch the interlace of the fingers. Again, press the palms to the sky. Draw the tailbone towards the heels as we take the arms overhead. They may not come to the floor. That's perfectly fine. Not forcing, keeping the tailbone moving in the opposite direction of your hands. And we'll take the arms back up and let everything relax just for the next 2 minutes. Pausing. Pausing and breathing. Checking in. And then I invite you to gently begin to deepen the breath. Wiggling fingers, wiggling toes. Bend up the knees. Moving slowly. Maybe rock the knees a little bit from side to side. Rolling over onto one side. And pause. And we'll use our arms and hands to press up into a comfortable seated posture. So the somatics, like I mentioned before, it's good to do at night because we are rewiring our movement patterns. We may be turning on some movement patterns that we kind of forgot and rewiring some that have become habitual and that will, either short or long term, begin to create some unevenness in the gears of our bodies. Let's bring our palms together. And we'll close with Om Shanti, 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 Om. I feel there is so much in our world right now that needs the energy of peace, both inside and out. So I invite you to share your intentions for peace far and wide. Let's take a deep breath in. Om Shanti, 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 Om. Let's exhale and bow our head to our hearts. Let your mind rest into the peace within you and allow it to be shared. We'll draw the gaze up. Namaste. And thank you. Let me turn the recording off. I invite you to unmute yourself.